Is Bitcoin getting ready for a big breakout moment? Well, I've got some interesting charts to share with you in today's video. Also, some just mind-blowingly big news for the entire cryptocurrency industry in today's video. My name is Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing. So if that's a topic you'd like to learn some more about, maybe you just like staying up to date with, then definitely hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you appreciate this kind of content, and also to let YouTube know you appreciate this kind of awesome content. Also, if you are a cryptocurrency trader, then you need to get yourself an account over on Femex. It is the best exchange for longing and shorting a wide variety of the top cryptocurrencies. They have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Chainlink, all of the good stuff. Use the link down below in the description to start your Femex account. You're going to get 10% off of your trading fees and up to $3,600 in bonuses. So go ahead and check that out if you are a trader. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the charts here to get started off with today. So Bitcoin still maintaining its uptrend from this beautiful test right here of support that we had last week, coming right back down to hit the lows of September's sell-off, tapping that support line within like $50 or something. It's mega close. Crazy to see that happening. Now, of course, we are still in this uptrend that we've been in since then. Right on the line at the moment. If we continue this uptrend, it'll push us into our downtrend line, which is, of course, the bigger trend line that we've been watching here for a while. This guy right here, ever since we tapped $69,000 back there at the start of November, Bitcoin has been in a downtrend with sometimes some pretty shocking volatility like this day. Anybody remember the 4th of December? That was fun. Wowzers. Holy cow. But we are still in this downtrend until we break above this orange line right here. Bitcoin is in a downtrend. Now we are coming up very quickly once again to test that area of resistance to try and break past this trend line. Only $1,000 separate us and breaking out of this downtrend. But we need to actually break out here with volume to back it up. You see, previously, this line looked just a little bit different because we actually drew it down here like so. And as you can see, we did have an attempted breakout here. However, we lacked the volume to really get that breakout moving in a significant way. Now, of course, what's very interesting about that breakout from the downtrend is that we actually haven't seen the price trade back under this initial downtrend line after the failed breakout attempt. So that's some interesting food for thought there for you. The market is maintaining some interesting strength in some odd places here, but the key thing I want to see is this line right here to be dealt away with. See the price of Bitcoin closing above this line right here on some volume. That would give me a bit of hope that we could see a big breakout moment coming for Bitcoin. We, of course, also are now in a death cross for Bitcoin, which obviously not that big of a deal, as we covered last week. 50-50, really, with death crosses. Half of them have been the bottom, half of them have been the beginning of the end. You can flip a coin which you think this one is going to be. Personally, I think it is marking the bottom. We get lots of indicators showing that's more likely to be the case than that this is the beginning of the end. Now, once we do cross over this trend line here, well, we have two moving averages that we want to take out before we can say, yep, the bulls are back in control of the market. First is, of course, the 50-day moving average right here. That at the moment will bring us around $45,500. So if we can close back above the 50-day, that I think will be a nice development for the price of Bitcoin. And then, of course, if we can reclaim the 200-day simple moving average around $48,500, that would be awesome. I'd be very excited to see that happening for Bitcoin. So these are the key areas to be watching out for right now. I think that once we see this downtrend get broken, you'll start to see a lot of activity from traders starting to commit as we get a bit more of a direction forming up for the price of Bitcoin. Once we take back that 50-day moving average, we can see the fireworks develop very, very quickly. Now, some interesting charts to share with you here. Short-term holders, investors who bought their coins within the past few months, currently hold 3 million Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. Now, this is a historically low level, one that has not been seen since August 2020. So that's just right here by my head here. August 2020, that's right over here. You can see what happened when we had that very, very low amount of coins being held by short-term holders. We had a massive upsurge. So these bottoming out moments that we see in the market tend to be times that come before big run-ups in the market. Just the same as we had back here. We had a nice little correction, then the big run-up happened. Similar situation here. We had a bottoming out rally, and you see these kind of things repeating. So are we now getting ready for the next big rally for Bitcoin? Are we getting ready for the next big breakout moment here for Bitcoin as we see this short-term holder supply kind of reaching a bottom point? Certainly interesting food for thought, interesting chart to be keeping an eye on right now. Also, the short-term holder supply in profit combined with a low stablecoin supply ratio indicates there's a lot of money waiting on the sideline to reinvest into Bitcoin. So we can see here the dark black line on the chart. That is the stablecoin supply ratio oscillator. So we can see it heading down in quite a way that indicates, as we have seen in previous times, a more bottoming out phase for the market. You can see here a low on this stablecoin supply oscillator came right before a big market rally. Same thing, late 2020, right before a big market rally. Similar scenario, mid 2021, bottoming out before, of course, the big end of year rally for Bitcoin. So are we in a similar situation right now? Very potentially. Now, of course, that can go lower before we say, yeah, it's definitely bottomed out, pops back up. But certainly the current level is interesting for those watching out for more of those indicators showing us that we could be getting ready for some money to start flowing back into Bitcoin. Now let's get into the big news, because there's some massive freaking news I want to share with you that came out over the weekend. The first is payments giant NCR will integrate the capability to buy and sell Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies more broadly into its point of sale ATM machines and their teller machine products. This happened, of course, after they purchased cryptocurrency software company LibertyX. Now, this is an incredibly big deal. NCR has 750,000 ATMs in 140 countries. Kind of a big freaking deal. That is massive, massive, massive. Now, we don't have, a timeline for which integrations, which countries, all this kind of stuff. Still very fresh news, this, but holy cow, they have 68% market share in the US for interactive teller machines. So they're a big deal. It's a massive, massive player in the finance space, right? With all these ATMs. If we have another couple 100,000, let alone all 750,000 in 140 countries, come on board to let people buy and sell Bitcoin at ATMs. Oh man, it just gets so massive in the potential scope for the market. As we always say here, what do you need to have a bull run continue? You need more money to be able to enter the market in a relatively frictionless way. The fact that every ATM is going to offer buying and selling of Bitcoin, huge, huge news. Absolutely massive, that story. So obviously we need to see that be implemented, but it's coming. It's coming. It's going to be everywhere. Sometimes people ask me, Lark, how are we going to get to 3.4 billion users by the end of the decade? That is the projected number. Stories like this. This is how it happens. MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor saying that 8 billion people need digital property and Bitcoin is the dominant digital property. He's absolutely right. We're moving into an era of hyper digitalization of everything. We're all going to be living and working in the metaverse pretty soon, apparently. And everybody's got a mobile phone. And every one of those mobile phones can hold Bitcoin on it. And you see these stories that are coming out allowing for a much wider range of people to start accessing Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies more broadly. It's very exciting times for the cryptocurrency market. Also, this was a pretty interesting survey that came out from Visa that I also wanted to share with you. So 25% of small businesses in 9 different countries plan to accept cryptocurrency payments in 2022. They did this survey in places like the United States, Canada, Brazil, Singapore. So massive, massive economies. And 1 in 4 small businesses say, yes, I'm planning to accept cryptocurrencies in 2022. That's crazy. That's crazy. We are nearing like this tipping point for the entire industry where we're going to go from like, yeah, everyone kind of talks about it and people are investing in it and, out there doing stuff to like everybody everywhere is using crypto on a regular basis. You're going to be able to buy it at any ATM, any bank, and be able to use it in any store, online or even brick and mortar stores. Here we go. 1 in 4 businesses planning to accept cryptocurrency payments in 2022. And look, they're not going to accept every cryptocurrency under the sun. Most of these guys are going to end up probably accepting a very small range of cryptocurrencies, just the top stuff. They're going to accept Bitcoin. They're going to accept Ethereum, maybe Dogecoin, Litecoin, something like that. But it'll be a small basket of cryptocurrencies that are accepted by the payment processors. And now that you have more services coming out all the time, like from PayPal, which is pushing out the option for people to be able to accept cryptocurrencies, and they have millions upon millions of business clients. We see these kind of integrations coming out, and it's just going to be so easy. You're just going to walk in, and the option will be cash, credit, or just scan this QR code and pay us in crypto. It's modern. It's cool. We have more and more people earning in crypto all the time who want to spend crypto. They don't necessarily want to go back into fiat. They want to just hold on to their Bitcoin and they spend their Bitcoin, which may sound crazy to some people. Why would you spend your Bitcoin? People are going to spend their Bitcoin. That's what's going to happen. And it's a positive thing. We need to be using cryptocurrencies more like currencies sometimes. Final story for today. Rio de Janeiro's mayor to invest 1% of the city's treasury into Bitcoin. So they're going to launch a crypto Rio coin, and they're going to invest at 1% of the treasury into Bitcoin. Now this follows on, of course, from what Miami has done, doing a relatively similar thing. Now we have, one of the biggest cities in Brazil doing a similar thing. I think we're going to see more cities innovating in this exact way. Everyone's sitting around waiting for the next country to adopt Bitcoin. The reality is Rio de Janeiro has more people than El Salvador. It's a big deal. It's a big, big deal that this city is doing that. And yeah, hey, it's exciting if Tonga adopts Bitcoin as a legal tender. Totally awesome. But the reality is that Rio is the size of like 20 Tongas or something like that. So as we see more and more of these cities, and there will be more and more cities doing exactly this, it's a very bullish picture long term for the cryptocurrency market. All these cities around the world are going to want 1% of their city treasury in Bitcoin. Guess what? There's not enough Bitcoin for all of them to have some Bitcoin without the price, of course, going straight up to the freaking moon, which is exactly what is going to happen. So Rio, in this moment, they are an early adopter. They're not the first city, but they're pretty gosh darn early, and of course, they're not going to be the last city. So very exciting news out of Brazil, seeing another city making some major strides in cryptocurrency adoption. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis for the day. Your question, what is going to be the next city to make a big crypto move? Very curious to hear your answers down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.